Hello, hello, my friends. Well, I am so excited to be here with you today. I am so sorry that we did not get to connect yesterday. So, the strangest thing just happened. I tried to go live on Facebook and it told me that I don't have permission to go live on my Facebook profile. So there's more than one way around that. How are you doing on your day today? I hope your day is going well. If you are live, go ahead and say hello in the comments. I would love to talk with you, communicate back and forth. Go through our training today. So we are talking about why punishment isn't a change maker. So I want to start today by sharing a story with you. When back a bunch of years ago, when I was in my undergrad, I was home for spring break, and for whatever reason, I decided to weigh myself. The scale told me that I was up over 200 pounds, and something inside of me just couldn't handle that. And I was mad at myself for letting myself get to be that number. So I decided that I needed to punish myself and really seriously restrict what I was allowing myself to eat. And the conversation that I was having with myself was not a loving one. It was one where I was really ripping myself a new one, and I was beating myself up emotionally. And would you like to know how that change went? Do you think that I lost any of the weight? Do you think that it improved my relationship with myself at all? Because I can tell you for certain that it did not. I did not end up losing any of that weight. In fact, if memory serves me correctly, I gained more. And my relationship with myself did not improve. It did not, I was not speaking life into myself. In fact, I was doing the exact opposite. So, where does self-punishment come from? Self-punishment comes from the innate belief that you are bad, you are unlovable, perhaps you are unworthy, and you need to be punished. Now, there is a place for correction. Okay, that's not what we're talking about here. What we're talking about here is a form of self-abuse. Okay, as trauma survivors, we tend to focus on the abuse or the neglect that we experience at the hand of other people. What we neglect to look at or to acknowledge is the abuse and neglect that we put ourselves through. So this form of self-punishment is a form of abuse toward ourselves. And it is run by the belief that we are bad and we deserve to be punished. So you'll notice that I mentioned the belief. So in my book, Rising from the Ashes, which is up there, other side, I talk about how your belief in yourself is far more. I'm actually going to get a copy and read directly what it says. This is one of the first lines in chapter 4. I've said it once and I'll say it again. The belief that you have in yourself is far more valuable and more powerful than the belief anybody else has in you. Your belief will give you life, or they will take your life. Your beliefs will create your thoughts and your, they are so powerful in the life that you have. And many of the beliefs that you have, especially things from childhood that you were conditioned to believe, are things that are now running automatically in your mind, and you don't consciously think about them anymore. So they're just playing in the background, having an impact on your life without you really knowing it. And something will happen and you'll say, I wonder why I did that. When you become aware of the beliefs that are running the show for you, you gain so much of your power back. So when you have a goal and you want to create change in your life, whether it's weight loss or behavior change or, you know, any kind of change. Change is incredibly difficult because as humans, we are creatures of habit. And our brain has that survival instinct that despises change. It will do anything that it can to prevent you from changing out of survival. I don't know if you've ever watched The Croods or not, but in the very first movie, I believe it's near the beginning of the movie. It's been a while since I watched it. The family, the dad specifically, is scared to leave the cave. That is for their survival, because they don't know what's outside of the cave. Your brain does not know what is on the other side of the change. So your brain will sabotage you. And we'll talk more about sabotage later in another video. But your brain will sabotage you. And so we have to be crafty and a little bit sneaky to get your brain on board. So there are 3 things that are must-haves to set yourself up for inevitable success when creating change in your life. Okay, so when you want to flip the script and stop repeating the cycle of trauma, that's a huge change. Okay, so there are 3 things that you must have, and they're of different levels of importance, but they are all important all the same. So the first is you need to believe that whatever change you're setting out to achieve is possible. You need to believe it. And within the 12 stepping stones of living empowered and calm, we tap into your belief, believing that it's possible. Secondly, pleasure needs to be a part of the process. When you are creating change and it feels like, or there's associated with it, you're going to find that you're less likely to follow through. However, when you are creating change and it's fun and you're looking forward to watching the growth take place, you are in like Flynn. And the third thing that you must have is a community for support. Healing, creating change, all of these aspects of growth require support. When you embark on any aspect of growth in an isolated manner, you are more likely to give up because you don't have anyone to hear you out on those inevitable bad days. You don't have anyone to give you an attitude check, a mindset check, and you don't have anybody to hold you up when you need someone to hold you up, because we all have bad days. We all have times where we just feel like throwing it in the wind, and it's so much easier to revert to our old ways. And a community of support will help you stick it out. So that's what I want to share with you today. If you need help believing that it's possible, if you need help adding pleasure into the process, or you need a community for support, currently in the Mended Mama Society, we are in the process of working through the 12 stepping stones for living empowered and calm. And it's absolutely free for you to access the 12 stepping stones within the Mended Mama Society, pardon me. And so I will put a link to the Mended Mama Society in the description of this video, or in the comments of this video, so that you can come join us and get free access to the 12 stepping stones. We are currently on stepping stone number 5. However, that does not mean that you are too late. All of the stepping stones are stored in the guide section of the group so that you can go back and work through them on your own time. This is not something that requires you to add more hours to your day as a busy mama. I'm a busy mama too, so I get it. They're there. You can access them on your own time. And the group and I are there to support you and to help you achieve the change that you want to see. So with that, I'm going to let you go. If you have any questions at all, go ahead and leave those in the comments. My DMs are always open. And I wish you the best on this beautiful day. So talk soon, friends. Bye-bye.